Hi everyone, I'm David Kelly, Program Director for the eLearning Guild, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another Twist Conversation. Today I'm pleased to be welcoming Chris Barker from Experticity, and we're going to be talking about e-learning and how to measure its effectiveness. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, thanks a lot, David. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get started in our conversation, can you take a moment to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. My name's Chris Barker. I am in Salt Lake City, and I work for a company called Experticity, and I'm the Content Services Director. I run a team of instructional designers, writers, and editorial assistants.
Excellent. I know you do a lot of work in the e-learning space, and one of the things that's always a popular discussion around this idea of e-learning is how do we know it's effective? And there are different determinations that people use to do that. When in the work that you do, how do you determine if the e-learning programs that you're developing are effective?
Well, that's a great question, and I think there's many different levels of the answer. Certainly, we have testing in our e-learning programs that determine knowledge retention, which is kind of the first level. We have a custom Google Analytics package that allows us to see how people are interacting with our HTML e-learning. But the big question is changes in behavior, as probably everybody who's reading or watching this knows. And that's kind of the $100,000 question with us. And in our industry, the behavior is retail sales, because we're teaching people how to be more helpful experts in the retail sales arena. So the big change in behavior we're really looking for is increased sales at the retail level.
So I know you mentioned that you do a lot of work with retail organizations. So in that retail world, sales is ultimately the figure. But what are the types of behaviors that you're looking for to come out come out of an e-learning course that can impact those sales things? What are those behaviors? Can you give me an idea of that?
Yeah, that's another good question, and frankly, the main behavior we're talking about, as anybody who's shopped can imagine, is how retail salespeople speak to customers. That's the big behavior we're trying to change, and the way we do that is with very short, interactive, and hopefully very relevant retail sales learning that goes through in detail the conversation with the customer and hopefully changes behaviors in a way that's going to improve sales because the retail salesperson is more helpful to the customer. And it's kind of the basis of the idea is that retail salespeople are very, very influential brand advocates, and if we give them the tools to have a more influential discussion on the sales floor, we had hoped that the behavior of increased sales by that retail salesperson would be the result. And hopefully, what I'll be getting across at DevLearn is the process by which we figured that out.
So, can you give me an idea, because the connection there is very powerful. Can you give me an idea of how you build that connection from an e-learning course that I'm doing in front of my computer to the behaviors that I'm displaying out on the sales floor? What are there any specific steps that you do to help build that connection when you're telling that story?
I think what you're asking is really how do we bridge the gap between building what we think is an effective e-learning and understanding that it actually changed behavior? And the short answer would be data. We've done work with large retailers for 8 years out of Salt Lake City, and some of those large retailers have point-of-sale data that records sales by the hour of retail sales associates. We harnessed 63,000 sales associate data from 63,000 sales associates, and over 2 years by the hour, and we're able to get to some really exciting figures for us, kind of pre and post learning from our e-learning, and also establishing the connection that overall those folks that did take our e-learning courses frankly sold more. And that wasn't the causal relationship, but we're basically identifying very engaged retail salespeople, which is actually quite valuable to retailers, as you might imagine.
Absolutely. And I know that this is the idea of being able to make this connection is very powerful. It's something that a lot of organizations struggle with. And I know that that's going to be essentially what you're going to be diving into at the session that you're going to be doing at DevLearn. So for people that are interested in learning more about this topic, if I was going to be at DevLearn and I'm going to be attending your session, what's my experience going to be like? What kind of things can I learn from coming to your session this October?
Well, what we're trying to do, and as a former participant at DevLearn, my favorite sessions were those that I could actually bring items back and use in my business. So the idea is to give you, I guess, first to give participants in my concurrent session an idea of the structure of our company and what we're trying to do very quickly, so they understand how we're set up, and then quickly to move on to ways that we made that connection to the change in behavior, and so that participants can see how they may be able to apply our methods, which include data collection, really establishing deep partnerships across our customer base, and also employing the correct people that understood how to interpret that data in an academic sense, and partnering with the correct people. So hopefully by relaying that information, we can get some people excited about how they may be able to take that back to their business and establish the connection that everybody's looking for in the e-learning world, which is changes in behavior.
I love the description that you gave there, because you tap on the thing that is so important about the sessions, and that's the ability to hear that story, but in a context that helps me be able to take it back and apply it to my own world. And this, like you said, this is a very important topic that a lot of people are struggling with. So to be able to provide them with content that they're going to be able to learn from in a way that they're going to be able to take that context and apply it to the work that they do, sounds like it's going to be something that's extremely useful for them. So thank you for presenting that session at the conference this October.
Hey, you're welcome, David. Thanks for the opportunity, and I can't wait to get to Vegas. It's going to be fun.
It is definitely going to be a lot of fun. And if you want to learn more about the session that Chris is going to be doing, or any of the sessions that are going to be taking place at DevLearn this October, visit our website, devlearn14.com. The DevLearn Conference and Expo takes place October 29th through 31st at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got Neil deGrasse Tyson headlining a great keynote lineup. We've got over 100 different sessions from people like Chris, who are sharing their stories and sharing their knowledge with all the different attendees. So you can learn all about all the stuff that's going on at DevLearn. devlearn14.com is the website to get more information. Chris, I want to thank you so much for talking about e-learning and measuring its effectiveness with me today.
Hey, you're welcome, David. Looking forward to catching up with you.
Looking forward to seeing you at DevLearn this October, and looking forward to seeing you next time online during the next Twist conversation. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.